We've got Gina Hendrix, Match or Pass, and the Jones app today on It's Complicated.
Powered by Acast.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another episode of It's Complicated.
The struggle's real when you're dating in the city.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jen, and today our drink of the day is coffee and Kahlua.
Actually, we have the coffee, but we're going to pour the Kahlua in while I talk about Gina Hendrix, you guys. Gina Hendrix is our guest. She is coming into the studio. Gina is the creator of the Jones app, which we are also going to talk about, which we've talked about before, but we would like to address it again because it's actually pretty great and something we always talk about.
Absolutely.
She's also a professional matchmaker and an author. So Gina is considered one of the top matchmakers in the industry. So watch out, whatever that one's name is that had the show.
Patty Stanger.
Sure. Her clients are among the most eligible men in the world, and she is often regarded as the billionaire or a celebrity matchmaker. And
not the millionaire.
No, different. In 2008, Gina launched her matchmaking company called Exclusive Introductions, and they are regarded the world's most unique and specialized matchmaking services. And their services are predominantly in like big cities like LA and San Francisco. And basically what they do is they connect the most eligible men with extraordinary women, and it's for people who only want serious relationships. Like that is the boundary. You have to be like super serial.
Ooh. Well, I wonder if she has anyone to set me up with since she's a matchmaker and all.
I know.
Maybe it will come to her as she's talking to us.
Okay.
So, guys, Gina has become known as obviously not only a top matchmaker, but a highly trusted confidant to her high-profile clients.
Yeah.
A recognized relationship expert, author, radio host, and a dedicated philanthropist. You don't hear that every day.
No, because
in 2012, she launched Models and Mutts, which is an organization of models and like beautiful women who volunteer their time to help shelter pets. And what better than shelter pets, right? Because I'm going to start bringing my rescue pup
you could
into the show.
probably be on it, part of the thing. But like, how great is that? Like cute animals and cute girls?
I mean, I don't know a better match than that other than a cute girl and a cute guy.
Yeah, you guys. And we mentioned Gina is an author. So if you want to read her book, you should, because it's Stop Being a Bitch and Get a Boyfriend, which I love.
Yeah,
love.
It's not more clear than that. Speaking of clear, did you give me some of this?
I did, but I think we might need more.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll start with this.
So Gina's book has chapter titles like Bitter Bitch, Freaky Bitch, and Picky Bitch. So we're going to ask Gina why she thinks men don't love bitches and why she focuses on matching men predominantly, and why we should be jonesing for her dating app. We need to know.
Well, I could say we probably are jonesing for it because it provides immediacy.
Yeah.
And we'll get more into that later. Oh, immediately give me that, in fact. More Kahlua, thank you. Maybe, though, this will help us get that much closer to finding a perfect match to cuddle up with as we celebrate Valentine's Day and February, our month of love.
That's
because
right.
everyone that's coming in this month, is obviously going to talk about love, even more so than we talk about, and the different facets of it. So, it's going to be a busy month for us.
And we think that every month you should tell people how much you love them, but obviously it's kind of the focus is Valentine's Day. Just get into it, okay, guys? Just surrender.
Just do it.
Okay.
Do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing. All right, guys. So, while we're celebrating our month of love and talking about love and relationships, we're going to pack our emotional baggage and meet some celebrities in baggage claim because there is some shiz to talk about.
Party of 5, Beyonce announced she's pregnant with twins, guys.
You guys.
She did it on Instagram, posing like in a bra and undies with her big belly and looked like she was like Mary Magdalene.
It's the most liked post on Instagram in the history of Instagram.
That is bananas.
She broke Instagram.
Well,
you guys, what the hell? Sorry that I had to jump to that really quick because I just can't even deal with first of all, what is she going to name these kids?
I don't know. Well, there's Blue Ivy.
So it's going to be like Purple Oat?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that would be fun to guess for the next 9 months. Maybe we'll even do like a poll or something.
I think we should.
And whoever's the closest gets to come on the show.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think we totally should.
Great. Okay. So yeah, she's having 2 babies at the same time, which really strikes me to believe that there's in vitro involved because like, do twins run in her family? I don't know. We didn't talk about it, but like maybe they don't and there's in vitro. Also.
Could be.
Also. Didn't they say the last time around?
There she is.
Oh yeah, her in all her glory. Didn't they say why did she have a veil on?
She just was trying to be like, I don't know.
Bride? I don't really get it.
I don't understand.
All right. So they said last time there was speculation that she actually had a surrogate and she wore a fake tummy.
I heard that too.
And that like, why would she actually give birth to a child and go through that in her body when she got shit to do? So now I think she posed like this to kind of prove the rumors are untrue.
Yeah, like see.
But have we all seen Facetune? You can make your body smaller. You can also make your body bigger.
Also, hello, it's smoke and mirrors in Hollywood, and like there's obviously a way to make that look whatever. But I mean, let's just say for all intents and purposes, she's pregnant with twins, and great. She's joining the club with J-Lo.
Yeah, 5 baby. I mean, 5 family. 5 family.
Party of 5. Party of 5. I don't know, something like that. Anyway,
Carter's.
But and then also, you guys, Pharrell had triplets. Like, what the fuck is everyone drinking?
I think you buy babies.
I don't know.
When you have money, you buy more at one time so you can have less later.
So, like, they had the babies in, like, January, I want to say, and they're joined by their older brother, Rocket.
Well, they had to give that first child, who's 8, a powerful name because, like, according to, like, the Native American tradition, you give it, like, a really powerful name.
Well, I know, but, like, what? So they wanted something that, like, meant, like, it was ascending and propelling, like, a man-made thing that was, like, propelling up.
And it was like a force.
Like a rocket.
Like a rocket. So name your kid Rocket.
You know, I mean, a slingshot does that, too.
Or how about name him after an astronaut? Or maybe name him Mars. Mars for Mars Williams.
Like, I don't know. So I would really love to see what these 3 babies' names are also.
Yeah. Probably Venus.
I don't even know.
Just kidding. That's a tennis player. But guys, so continuing on this love path, Selena Gomez on the weekend went to Italy, and I mean, I'm sorry, travel by numbers. Yeah. Because they spent like $246,000 on their Italian getaway.
I can't. And like, yeah, I don't even. The hotel alone was like over $8,000 a night. Like, what the fuck?
And then all their private traveling, like they're flying private jets, and then private tours in all the most famous museums.
I mean, talk about an expensive weekend. Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever.
What are they trying to prove, though?
I don't know. Well, it's all relative. And when you have that kind of money, you spend that kind of money, you know, it's relative. It is. But, like, also, whoa.
I still want to know about the friend circle. Like, is it okay that now she's very publicly dating The Weeknd, although her friend group is Bella Hadid, Gigi Hadid, that whole crew?
I feel like they all, like, don't like her.
Bella?
No,
Selena?
Selena.
Really?
Yeah, she always seems like she's bitter, and maybe she feels the tension and the resistance or something.
I don't know, though, because also, like, Taylor Swift is, like, her BFF.
I don't believe it.
Like, I don't know. It'd be weird, like, if, like, one of your offshoot BFFs was, like, dating my ex-boyfriend.
You've been in a group. Yeah, but you've also been in a group of friends.
So, like, I refer to it as an offshoot BFF. That's BFF. That other one.
That one that's,
not
like,
primary,
not a real one.
But a different one.
Like a tier lower on the totem pole.
Like, yeah, she's not to be seen from or heard from.
But
ever.
I don't know. I just feel like... I don't know. I just feel like it's, you know how it works in a group of friends, and especially with women, unfortunately, I'm going to go with that stereotype. I mean, it's maybe like this with men too, just on another level. But like, we even talked about this the other day. It's like, there's a group of friends, 2 friends walk into a party, and one walks up to you like, oh, she's annoying me. And you're like, didn't you walk into the party together? Like, that happens. That's what happens with Selena and all them. Totally happens.
They're all moody.
Totally. Yeah. And speaking of moody, what the fuck with Bethany Frankel, who is the most moody person in the world? Yeah. Or maybe she's just always bitchy, but great. And no reason for Jason Hoppy to start, like, stalking her, showing up at their daughter's school, which I guess he's allowed to do because it's his fucking daughter. But apparently Bethany and her new boyfriend, or he's semi-new, the guy she's dating now.
Dennis.
That's funny. Showed up at the school, and he, like, kind of went off. Like, okay, this is how you want, like, kind of run on a rant, like, about maybe the way she's handling the divorce or whatever.
Don't you feel like we've been divorcing this guy for years?
We've been divorcing him for, like, 4 years. So it's like, I'm sorry, that's why she has 10 lawyers. And he's like, you want to get all the lawyers in the world, and okay, this is how you want it, I see, and sort of made up, like, a hullabaloo, which is so not the time and the place.
No.
And so now there's a restraining order, and he is like not allowed to be, you know, within obviously whatever those parameters are, certain feet of her house and all of the things. But like he really is trying to maintain that like he wants what's best for his daughter and things. So I think that restraining order affects the daughter too, and where he goes. So it's like even a bigger mess.
Yikes. I don't get it. I just don't understand people that behave that way, especially when you're doing things legally.
I think it, like, you know, you've been on a smaller level, I'm sure, because none of us have been on like a custody battle, but like on a smaller level you get mad or frustrated, and so you just react like
emotionally.
Yeah, you react emotionally.
It brings out the craziest parts of people.
It just makes you like that fear of loss or whatever is coming out. It just makes you like grasp onto something, and so you react a little differently than you normally do on a normal basis. And this is obviously a very heightened emotional situation.
Oh my God, it's in the public eye. She's got mega money. He's got who knows what at this point. And like
coattail money. I like to call that coattail money.
I agree. Also, this brings me to another point. So my very special animal I've adopted, Mochi. Mochi Golden will be joining us next week and hereafter probably as our
mascot?
Yeah, our mascot, if you will. And so
kind of like how Andy Cohen's dog is his mascot.
Exactly. So we've got one too. So I was walking her this morning thinking about like, I'm so glad that I did this on my own, because like, what if I got this dog with like a boyfriend and then we broke up? Like then I'd have to share her, and like I wouldn't really be okay with that.
And you would also attach her like to a memory of him, and that's not good.
No, and so I don't have to have a custody battle over Mochi.
No.
It's great.
Great.
But it is 2 for the price of 2. We come as a package deal.
That's
so
fine.
if you date me, you also have my dog.
Well,
but then you leave us and you don't get my dog.
You don't. And the same thing with me and my cat.
Exactly.
So you're just going to have to deal with the fact that he's a dick.
Right.
But also while we're talking about you and the dog, so what were you up to? Let's, fill people in on our dirty laundry. What were you up to this past week?
Well, I spent a lot of time with the pup because that's just what I do now. But I had friends in town this weekend from New York, and it was fun because I was saying how like I wanted them to like walk the dog at night. I was like, yes,
because they were boys, so it was like
boyfriends. Well, they were not that useful. In fact, they were like so weird with the dog. I was like, do you not know how to be with a dog? They're
people
like
who
from
are
New York,
weird with animals are just weird to me.
But they're from New York and they don't have friends that have dogs, and like I guess because it's more difficult like to have a dog there because of the weather and stuff. So they were just like, they loved her, but they were like, they didn't really know what to do with her.
This is not familiar.
So I was like, I will take her. No, you're gonna do it wrong, and you can't be trusted. Yeah. So anyway, so we had a lot of fun though. It was like having 2 boyfriends because it was 2 of them. So we went to like drinks, and we went to dinner, and then we went out, and I was like so busy. I was like, all I want to do is go home and be with my animal.
Yeah.
Do I have to stay out much longer?
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a good change of pace, and it was nice to like have them around.
Yeah.
We also did a really great hike. We hiked the Wisdom Tree Trail.
Nice.
So that's like a newer trail in Hollywood that takes you up to this like gorgeous tree where people make wishes and put them under rocks, and then there's a big American flag, and it's just quite amazing. You can see a photo of it on my Instagram if you're following me at Jennifer Golden. Great. And then I had family dinner so the pup could meet my family. That didn't go so well because the big dogs and her just
she doesn't like big dogs.
No, she likes dogs her size and her like look.
Yeah,
it's so weird, but
she's
whatever.
racist.
She is who she is, and actually, I'm not that different from her, so whatever. Okay. And then watched The Bachelor on Monday, caught up on all that craziness. I mean, and then I was like, I have to check on Reality Steve, who we've had on the show, and I need to know who the hell's going to win this damn thing.
You told me because I want to know. I cannot fucking believe he picks her.
You know what? But can't you? Because he's got a fucking terrible train of...
She is not smart.
No. And now you might know who we're talking about. But anyway, moving on. Then I had a bunch of girls over on Tuesday night for Wine Elephant, which was a play on White Elephant, where you bring a really good bottle of wine and everyone gets to like...
You just play White Elephant but with a bottle of wine.
Right. You pick it, you can trade it, you can steal it, you end up with a great bottle of wine. A lot of fun. Great group of girls together. Going to try and do that once a month for different... like spa elephant, cookie elephant.
Yeah. Beauty
elephant. Book elephant if that's your jam.
Elephant.
Give a different elephant to different people.
I think so.
Anyway, and then tonight, going to the Great Love Debate.
With Brian Howie, who will be in here next week.
Can't wait.
I had like a busy week. I saw my friend Noel, who I like to affectionately call the Source, who's hooked me and my boyfriend up, and he's like a really good friend of mine, and we always talk about amazing things. And then my boyfriend came back in town. He went to Massachusetts to see some family and friends, and then came back in town with his daughter, so I saw them. And then I was with my friend Lauren from college. It was like every night was something to the point where last minute wine tasting happened. Woke up at 7 in the morning, because that's when we wake up like old people, and was like, do we want to go wine tasting? Like, do we want to just go for the night? I was like, okay. And was literally like, be back at my house at 9:30, go pack and come back, and we're leaving. And
that's like, so spontaneous and fun. And also the great thing about LA, you can drive to so many places.
Yeah, we went to Solvang. It's not that far away. Did some wine tasting, but I was so tired that I fell asleep halfway through. Probably the alcohol and also the tiredness. The Great Love debates tonight. Have fun at the wine night, and Super Bowl plans, aggressively going to a bar at 8 a.m.
Well, that's what you get when your boyfriend's a Patriots fan.
It's happening. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is happening. I hope there's no Deflategate again.
No, that'll be fine. I don't think anybody cares about that anymore. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Well, I think we need to double tap that up.
I think we do,
because
too.
Gina Hendrix is about to arrive, and she created the Jones app.
Yes, you guys, we've talked about it before, but we need to touch on it again.
Because it is the world's newest free on-demand, no waiting dating app that gets you dates each day in real time.
Yes.
So you literally can open up your phone, like have the app. You can set it to 2 different settings. It's like,
are you ready now or not, or something like that.
Like, are you ready to go out right now? Like, and then if you are ready, you can match with somebody that's also ready, and you have to be at the place in an hour.
Yeah. And it's I like what behind it is that it's like sort of like a safety thing too, because like the Jones app knows where you're at. They know these places, so there's kind of like a paper trail, if you will, of where you're going and who you're meeting. And listen, if you don't like the person, they say, like, if you don't like the person, well, then you're out. At least like you both wanted to meet and you're trying, and now you're out, and you just then can leave, because it happens so fast. You don't feel obligated to then just sit there and like have a dumb conversation, you know?
Right. I mean, you know what? I think that might be great for people on Valentine's Day if they don't have a date that night, and they're like, you know what? Let me go do a random encounter.
Totally.
And see who comes up. Maybe that is the love of your life, and you met on Valentine's Day.
And Gina also says it doesn't have to be, because it doesn't have to be just for like, I want to meet a guy. Yes, of course, or a girl, or whoever you're trying to meet. Romantic is what I'm saying. It can also just be like, hey, I want to like go out and meet some girls, or just go out and be social. You can actually figure out how to use it that way too. The main purpose is to like a romantic connection, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Yes. And so we're going to talk to Gina. I believe she's in the studio.
Yes, I think she's here. And
while she's walking in, we have a song of the day.
We have the song of the day, and it is Matchmaker from Fiddler on the Roof. And this song is very appropriate because
they have to make a match for you before they can make one for me.
Yes. Jen, do you know this?
Yes, I do. I could do it. I know it quite well because I was in Fiddler on the Roof as a young child.
And she was.
When I was doing my performance in community theater. And I played Bielka, the youngest daughter of Tevye.
And so now we think we should play the song because we have a very, very awesome matchmaker in the studio.
We do.
We are playing the song because Jen was in the musical, and you know, we think it's okay to admit that you need some help sometimes. You need the help of a matchmaker, you need the help of an app, you need the help of some girls on a podcast that might guide you to your path on love. Just admit that you need help. Find that matchmaker, make you a match. And also, Jan Golden singing along right now. Jen's Jewish mother is having a heyday right now. We had to play it. Matchmaker. Yes. Matchmaker. Yeah.
Yes, make it. Well, we're going to ask our matchmaker, who's in the studio now, to tell us what goes into matchmaking.
Hello, Gina.
Hi.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great.
Good,
how are you?
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, my gosh.
Of course.
Thanks for
so
being
happy
there.
to have you.
Appreciate it.
We actually moved to AfterBuzz and covered the Jones app the first episode we were here.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Like, just coincidentally.
What?
Yeah.
Is that how? Because how did you get on it? And you're way prettier in person.
Really?
By
Thank
the way.
you.
Yes.
Oh, then do I need to change my photos?
Yes.
Oh, well, we're going to have to talk about what goes
yes,
into a
I help a
profile.
ton of people. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I'm happy to help in any way I can.
I love it.
Great. Well, thank you again.
Sure.
So let's just start off with, what is your relationship status?
Let me settle into this. You know, there's 2 things people can be. Well, there's a lot of things people can be, but when it comes to being single and or available, right? So
yes.
While I'm single, I am not available. Now, what does that mean? A lot of singles don't even think about that, but it's important to know. are you really available for a relationship?
Okay.
And I'm not. I've got 6 dogs. I've got a matchmaking business.
Yeah.
I've got a tech business I just started with the app. And a man, unfortunately, is a little low on that priority list.
Right.
That's okay, because eventually
But
it
I'm
could
honest
change.
about it.
Yeah.
But that's
Totally.
also what you want. So it's not
Right.
like
Okay,
yeah.
so here's something also very, very important. Rather than, even though I'm a matchmaker, I preach happiness over a relationship any day, because so many people trade that out. They are just believe in love and a relationship, and they sacrifice their happiness so many times.
So do you then get a client that comes to you and is like, I really want to be in a relationship? Have you ever turned someone down because you're like, listen,
You're not ready.
You're not ready. Are you?
Am I just bouncing around here? Sorry.
No,
it's
you're
great.
fine. You can
Have
see
I
yourself
turned-
right there, by the way. So if you want to
If
check
I
yourself
could
out.
see that far away, sure.
Okay, well, hey, it's fine. And you don't
I see
have
a
to
little,
yeah.
little tiny person.
Okay,
it looks
okay.
like me. Did I get Kahlua in my coffee?
No,
by the way?
no,
you
do
can
want
have
some?
it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh my
then-
God! Here, I'm taking
Here.
my headphones off.
I
and
just
gonna
didn't
pour it for you.
know.
Our
I didn't
bartender Lauren.
understand.
Let me get it
Yeah,
for
we
you.
drink. It's like a
Love
Kathy Lee and
it.
Hoda thing. They drink
Oh.
at 7 in the morning. We can drink at 10.
I had no idea.
That's how we roll
Heck,
here.
I have not had Kahlua in my coffee probably since the 90s. Thank you.
It makes you drink your
Perfect.
coffee surprisingly quicker than I'm like, where did it go?
No doubt. So the key to my business, actually, the key to the integrity of the business is the fact that I'm willing to turn people down.
Okay.
Which, most matchmakers aren't, unfortunately. If your money's green, they take it.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm very different. So it's only men who hire me. Women are always free, and they just women just go to my website, exclusivenla.com, and fill out a profile for me for free, private. But the men is where it starts. I have to be extremely particular about the guys that I even work with, because I just won't take money from any douchey guys.
And you
'Cause
just
women don't
you
want to
can
date
just
those guys.
Right,
yeah,
they
and
don't.
Can we
how do
talk
you-
frankly like that here?
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah, you can curse.
100%. Oh yeah, no. We don't. And I mean, we think we can tell. Sometimes it's harder to spot a douche than it is.
Yes, I've gone down that rabbit hole.
Slip through the
where-
cracks.
Yes.
I have, but now I've gotten better at spotting them. I mean, it starts with what are they looking for? If they're asking for something crazy, then you know that that's not somebody I'd want to work with.
Like, what would be crazy?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's the craziest
well,
thing you've
Like
heard?
a Christian Grey kind of thing? Like from 50
No,
Shades of
I
Grey?
know. I knew Christian Grey from
Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey, but I've never read or seen the movie, but I need to. What does he ask for?
Like
all
S&M
kind-
and
yeah.
things.
Well, if they're into that, they don't reveal that part to me. But
Really?
they will. No.
Wow, interesting.
No, I think I have had somebody say that they were into polygamy or something like that, but then they didn't end up. I don't even think I really ever met with them. I don't know that they
But
were
there's
that
someone
serious.
for everyone.
Sure, there is, and I say God bless them. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
but that's
I
not your
focus
jam.
on a certain kind of
Sure.
business, right?
Yes.
So no, I'd say the craziest, certainly the obvious is really wide age gaps. A really old dude that wants somebody really young. I call that geezers and gold diggers. That's another book I want to write.
Oh my
actually,
God, that's genius.
Once I've stopped my
That should be a
business, I
reality
might write
show.
that.
Wait
Yeah.
a second. That is so yes, that is it. Because it can't just be that the guy is the one that was asking for something weird. The girl's the other end of it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if they want a guy like that and that guy wants a
Correct.
girl like that,
They're a match, but
That's
that's just
seeking
again not what,
arrangement
that's
is
not
like
what
that.
I do.
Right.
No.
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 I mean, you have to kind of play around with the parameters a little bit, and I do get that.
Yeah.
But not crazy, not crazy.
Okay.
And then there's another guy he's always kind of looking for matchmakers, and somebody recommended him to me. I don't even advertise, so everybody comes through a recommendation through somebody. But he's so particular. He says when somebody starts talking about the circumference of a girl's arm at the top part,
No.
I'm out. At
Talk
that
about
point.
picky bitch.
Picky bitch. That's in my
Oh,
book.
yes.
Actually,
That's what I'm
if
saying.
I thought ahead of time, I would have brought my books for you girls. But
That's okay.
That's okay.
This is why
'cause
I
we have a
created-
relationship now, so we'll keep in touch.
Are you guys both in a relationship?
Well, no, she is. I am not.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm hoping maybe you know someone to set me up with. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, after seeing you today, perhaps, absolutely. And you're even prettier in person as
well,
well.
thank you very much.
Yes.
Oh,
My goodness.
well.
So what else you got for me?
Okay, so how did you actually get into matchmaking?
Yeah. How did that start for you?
So actually, with the app, it's come full circle because I've had 3 careers. I was a flight attendant for Delta Airlines for 9 years.
Oh my God, I could totally freaking picture you doing that.
Now I'm gonna kill it.
No.
Really? With my rock and roll look? Come on.
Wait,
Anyway.
this is why I say that. I have to explain now.
Oh, please.
Because I think flight attendants are very calming. I think, and you have that nature about you.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
why I always think that
You don't
they're
know
very.
me very well, but yes,
Okay,
thank
well-
you. No, I'm kidding.
First impression.
I'm certainly very personable.
Yeah.
In that way, I
And
make
maybe that
people
too.
feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do have that. So that was a way to leave Memphis, come to LA, at the tail end of the heavy metal days. So anyway, so I came here, I was flight attendant for 9 years. Then I switched and became a celebrity wardrobe stylist, costume designer for 10 years.
Okay, so that's the rock and roll part of you then.
Yeah, you look so cute.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But when in the early 2000s, I discovered online dating, and I was always one of those women. I was always one of those girls that was like, as a just young girl growing up, boy crazy. Oh, who's gonna be my boyfriend? Who's gonna call me? The phone, it revolved around what guy liked me and who. So I was obsessed with relationships and dating forever, and then discovered online dating. And immediately, I don't know, it just spoke to me. I've always been a good connector anyway, connecting people with animals, people with people with a lot of things. And so when I discovered online dating, I thought, there's got to be something cooler than this. This is a great idea, but it was just like kind of dorky people doing online dating.
Totally.
In the
Yes,
early
totally.
beginning, right? The pioneers were a little dorky. So anyway.
It's just so true.
Yes. So I wanted to create something a little sexier and cooler, but I was just a celebrity stylist costume designer, and I didn't know how to like build a whole dating site, and I let fear shut me down. I tried off and on for 7 years, like in the lulls.
Wow.
Styling's not always busy. You have
Right.
lulls, right? Production. So during the lulls, I'd hustle. I had a business plan created. I flew to San Francisco and met somebody, but then you'd talk to 10 people or even 50 people, and they always gave you a different way to do it. And I was just like,
It's overwhelming.
So finally, a friend after 7 years, and joining a lot of different networking groups for, that stuff back in the day. A friend said, Gina, you should think about being a traditional matchmaker. You have a passion for it, but you've been trying to do the online. It's not. So I was like, it's a lot smaller than I envisioned, but I don't know. It spoke to me. I took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And then I started my business, formed it, as an LLC, did that, and then I immediately got a radio show on LA Talk Radio. I don't know if we can say that.
that's fine.
we were there too.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I first
That-
connected with
yeah.
you.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right. So I've had 2 shows there, and that really gave me more of the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
I had a relationship show that I interviewed all kinds of people who had perspectives. I had people who were swingers. I had people who were actually recognized authors. Everything relationships. It was called Love Life Makeovers, and that really kind of boosted my confidence that, like, okay, I'm doing this. I am
validates
now
you. It
in the
validates you.
relationship industry. And I started getting more clients, and one thing after another. I didn't really know fully what I was doing in the beginning, only that I really wanted to help people. I wanted to try to make a difference. And then I just learned as I moved along, this was in 2008, I learned that really the way to have a quality matchmaking business, and from my perspective, is you only work with 8 to 10, 7 to 10 clients ever at one time. So you raise your rates, you work with less people,
Yep.
and so you're working with more quality people, and you're able to get them what they want because you're not like dying here flooded with all these people that want
right.
your
You can
help and you
focus
can't help them.
and- yeah.
So
And
then
it's
I
not a
started having
numbers game.
success.
Why do you focus on men specifically versus women as well?
Because so many reasons.
Because they need the most help.
No, because it's just an easier way to set up the matches. It's a little harder when you have a woman who's your paying client, and then you have to go and hunt down men. It's just not the right order of things, right?
I was
Now,
going to say it goes
you know,
along with the societal myth of like, and it's not always the case, but it's like men are the hunters.
Yeah, in a way. And so, but then the other thing, I also feel very protective of my girls. So,
Sure.
So whether they're in my database or whether let's pretend a woman hired me, when I'm going to go now, if a woman hired me now, I have to go and be proactive on her behalf and search and walk up to these strange guys I don't really know, right?
yeah.
And I have to try to pre-qualify them as best as I can. And I have to say, and you've got to take her on a date. It's just different than having a guy that's my client and then trying to vet the women. The vetting the women and just getting them to say yes is just so much easier
You're right.
of a process.
How do you vet the men so that you know they're not the douchey kind,
Right.
they're not the crazies?
To the best of my ability, but so I don't advertise. So I'm very under the radar. Sometimes I'm too under the radar, probably, but I like it that way. They all come through referrals. It's somebody
is the
that
best
I know,
way.
or either maybe I've met them personally at an event somehow, and then it's literally at least 3 or 4 meetings before they ever sign with me. So I usually go to their home.
Yeah.
I spend time getting to know them.
Well,
and through those hoops.
And it
as
makes sense too. Like if you're in the business of making a personal connection, your personal connection should be made initially through a personal connection.
Yeah,
I think.
that's a
You
good
know what I'm
point.
saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to date them a little bit first.
Totally.
Yeah, no, I say that's why I'm careful who I even work with, because like I marry them first, basically. You
I
know,
love that.
I'm married to you for a year. So I have to be very careful who I marry for a year, which is also another reason why I don't have a lot of time for a relationship myself, because I got 10 boyfriends.
Totally.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're needy, because it's true. Men are actually like a lot needier and emotional than they let on, because
It happens.
Yes, some are, some aren't. It really depends client to client.
Yeah. So it's there's other famous matchmakers in the world that have said like they believe that matchmaking is like a passed down through the generations of. I've heard that before. Like my mother did it, and now I do it, and it's like obviously you started your own tradition.
Sure did.
So and I love that. If you ever have kids or whatever, would you like want your children to ever? Is it something you would want to pass down? Do you believe it's something you pass down, or you just think you had like a calling to do it?
I think however you arrive at your passion is the path you follow. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you've certainly come from generations and you've learned the skills, that's great. But I also think even more than learning the skills is your heart in it. Is this your true passion? And I think that's on an individual basis. So I guess whatever speaks to you, whether I had kids, which never going to happen now, but or I was giving advice to somebody. I mean, I think that the money will follow, the success will follow as long as you're following your passion.
Sure. So
Absolutely.
then, so you tried to make an app. You then went into matchmaking. Then the app kind of came about, but you also have a book.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things happening, and it's
I'm
all
working on another book now.
I love that it's
geezers and gold diggers.
I don't know if I'll write that until I'm done with matchmaking, just because I might be sort of throwing myself under the bus at that point.
Maybe, yeah.
But the book I'm working on now, it's really sort of like just the secrets and all the tips I've learned from working with like the successful men who've taught me everything from what they're looking for in women to even business stuff.
Tips and tricks are like great thing. People always love that. Always want it. It's
Can you
always
tell
valuable.
us any of them? Just throw out a tip or a trick.
I mean, I can tell you, because women ask me what are men really looking for, and I say this consistently. It's a thing I've learned is like, men want a woman who can be vulnerable and easy to be with, but they also want a woman who's smart. So you can't be like smart and like a ball buster.
Yeah.
You need to be smart and vulnerable. And somebody has told me that they have met Amal Clooney before, and they said they were blown away at how feminine and girly she is in person.
Aw.
Because here she is, this big attorney that does a lot of great things, and she definitely has to have, the balls when she goes in court and all this, but she knows how to dial it back and be super feminine. I have another girl, so there's that. And I have another girl that was telling me a story the other night. It's very funny. And we'll keep her as anonymous as possible. There's this man that she's really been wanting to go out with, and I know who he is, and he's not a client, but she's talked about him, and he's very well known. And she was texting me. She's like, Gina, and she's gorgeous. And he's like, Gina, you wouldn't believe who I ran into the other night. She said it was him. This is through text. And she said, and then we got on a call. And then she was saying that they kind of made out a little bit. And she says, oh, but I told him he was a bad kisser. And I said, what? And she said, no, I was really surprised because, he's older than me. And I thought I'm used to guys like texting me right after I leave and saying that. She goes, and I haven't heard from him. I said, because you blew it.
Yeah.
You blew it. Like that. He's got a long line of beautiful women. So the fact that you're beautiful is not like,
no,
it doesn't matter
right.
if you're not like soft and feminine and nice to him.
Sure.
Right. I mean, that game doesn't work anymore once you leave high school.
Right.
Don't throw rocks at them. Tell them that you think they're attractive.
Right. No, and sometimes it's not easy. Like sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable. And it's funny that you say that because the beginning of my relationship, it was hard for me to be vulnerable because he seemed a little less in the place to be in a relationship, and admittedly so. So, but
Was he married?
No, but coming out of like a serious relationship, he also has a daughter, and so he's just like just cautious. And I knew that, and it was fine, but I just had to like feel like if I wanted to express my feelings, that was okay, and I had to be vulnerable. And it's funny that you say that because he often tells me, I love how like feminine you are.
Right.
I love like watching how you like move your hands, or like I love but then he'll also say like I like what you and Jen are doing, and like how you're like a go-getter, and how you stay up late and work. Yeah. It's funny how you really have repeated like what he has told me before. So
I have learned so much from working with men, and so even with my book, Stop Being a Bitch and Get a Boyfriend. available on Amazon.
Perfect.
It's actually digital download. You can get a copy, and I even had it where it's narrated. So
Oh,
like
yeah,
an
audiobook.
audiobook.
Love a
It's
good
an
audiobook.
So you can find it in all ways.
So then, do you believe, like in that moment, like, oh, you're a bad kisser? Like, is that so? You know that dumb book that I couldn't get on board with. Sorry, but that Why Men Love Bitches. So this is the opposite idea.
Yeah, this is the opposite idea of that.
Okay,
and
good.
it's also, I think sort of the title gives women the impression that you read the book if you don't have a boyfriend, but it's actually that, so maybe the title's a little misleading, because actually what I touch on is girls who already are in relationships but they can't seal the deal with the guy.
Sure.
And why the guy will ultimately leave as
Great.
well.
Ooh.
And it's a
Yeah.
whole
Good to know.
myriad of different
love that.
personality types that we take on when we date a guy, whether our insecurities come out
Yeah.
or we become control freaks or whatever it is.
Are you gonna write like a second book that's directed at the men, like stop being a douchebag?
Right, I know.
Get
I
a
thought of that.
girlfriend?
I've totally thought of that. But men don't really read relationship books too much.
No, they don't, but they should.
No, they should. They should.
But
They
you're
should.
right, though. There's not as big of a market for it,
really
and
isn't.
that is why your matchmaking service reaches out to men, because the
They
women
need help.
are like, okay, we're ready for
Correct.
the most part, or I want to know about this, or help, like
Yes.
whatever. And so it makes sense that you only really focus on the men.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, how did the Jones app come about? Because you said you wanted to do a dating site
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Right.
You became a matchmaker, and
Yeah.
then Jones came about.
Perfect timing,
Yes.
just like a relationship.
Yeah.
Yes. So I never stopped. Once I became a matchmaker, I never stopped like trying to brainstorm better ways to connect people. I mean, I'm obsessed like a mad scientist, and I'm just always thinking better. And I study all the online dating sites and now the apps. It took me a long time to really get on board with the apps, though, and because apps have actually been around quite a while, but not to this degree they are now. Tinder changed the game. But,
Totally did.
But I met a guy in the early 2000s through my little networking groups. I think I was actually, this is funny, I was actually probably one of the very first people to start a meetup group that was a tech meetup group.
Wow.
But I didn't call it that because I didn't know that name back then. I was like business owners networking group is what it was called.
Yeah.
And so from that is where I met the mentor that told me to become a matchmaker, and it was where I met this guy named Max Woon. And Max had just come off a win. He went to Cambridge, and he's literally a rocket scientist.
Oh, my God.
And he created this thing called Xfire, and it was a social networking site for gamers, and they sold it to Viacom 2005 for $102 million.
Wow.
So Max and I have always sort of remained friends. I mean, we're not friends, but in touch.
Yeah.
He always wanted to do something in this space. Way back, he said, I'll give you money if you want to start a dating app. Year 2005, 2007. I was
Wow.
like, dating app? What? And so we could never really agree on an idea. So we would talk and then lose contact. And so finally, I was constantly thinking of ideas. And so really wanted a dating site. And then would not get on board with Tinder, but still was going to now tech networking mixers, this whole Silicon Beach thing. And then I just realized Tinder changed the game, and dating sites are like your grandma's on the dating
Totally.
sites, you
Yes.
know?
Yep.
It's all about the apps. You got to keep up. So I decided let's switch gears and make it an app. And I actually had the idea. Do you guys know what Raya is?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I actually had the idea for Raya before Jones. I wanted to create a Soho House meets Tinder. And
Because
so
that's kind of like what your matchmaking service is.
that's why I
that
didn't want,
caliber.
and that's why I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
Because I didn't want, my whole purpose in trying to create a dating website or now app was because I want to be able to help people everywhere.
Diversify.
My matchmaking is so exclusive. I wouldn't even qualify for my matchmaking business, and there was no way I was going to create an app that wouldn't allow me on it as well,
Sure,
right? So,
sure.
because my passion is to help people make a difference in the world, and so that's why I let go of the idea about a Raya, and Raya wasn't around then; it was before Raya, and I'm glad I did because somebody else was doing it. Perfect for
Great.
them, and so with my idea for Jones, I really built it sort of around me because nobody's pickier than I am, and I just feel like in this time that we live in, you can plan, like I'm speaking for myself here, but a lot of times I'll have plans to do things with people, and then I get so busy in my day, by the end of the day I'm like, I don't even feel like going out. Or there's times where I go,
happens to me all the time.
Every day, I'm like, should
exactly.
I cancel my plans tonight?
There you go.
Or
Yeah,
shouldn't I?
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. So then I thought, and then there's times where, gosh, I look so cute. And then I don't have anybody to do anything with.
I know, right? And then you're like, hello, I guess I'm going to the mall.
Right.
Or
so,
I guess I'm going to sit at home and take a selfie so people saw what I looked like, and then I'm going to put on my
or I'll
sweats.
drag the dogs up to the bar with me, and we'll sit
All six of
outside.
them.
All
Yeah.
6 of them. And so anyway, so I thought, there needs to be something that like caters to people who want to be social now.
Yes.
They just need somebody to do it with, right? I mean, eventually the full plan of Jones, and to find it, it's Jones Dating in the App Store, Jones Social. But the full plan is like it's going to be any activity you want to do in the next hour. Paddleboarding, art shows, concerts, anything. But right now, what I've learned, we've done a 6-month alpha launch. I've not raised any money. I've been able to do this because I reconnected with Max. Said, hey, I've got this idea, and he says, I'll build it for you.
Great.
Wow.
Thank God for
Gotta
him.
love friends like that.
Wow.
He came on as my co-founder, so he's the techie that built it. Thank God for him. And so what we've realized is that the men are gung-ho. Women are not so gung-ho yet because I'm introducing something that's really disruptive, honestly, to the space. But if you're gonna do something different in the space, you gotta have it be disruptive.
Totally.
Right.
So we're sort of in a little bit of a gray area, growing pain area right now because we got to get the girls comfortable with saying yes to the guys.
And I think that it's the type of thing that you do it once and you're like, oh,
right.
Okay.
This
it's
is
just
so easy and
getting,
fun. Right.
yeah. Because
I'm
that
going to
makes
do it
so
and
much
talk
sense.
about it next week.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I'm going
good,
to for sure
okay.
do it.
If
Good.
I were single, I would do. Well, also you
no.
can do it to meet
There you go.
friends
Thank
and
you.
things too.
Thank you.
Yes.
So there is a friend component. Women can meet other women
Yes.
friends as well.
Sure.
So it's really, it's
It's a social thing.
It's a social thing.
Yeah.
I just switched gears right before we released it and added the tagline "No Waiting Dating" because it was catchy. And as a matchmaker, that's sort of my low-hanging fruit because that's my network of people.
Of course.
They're looking for dating. But ultimately, again, it's really just about finding somebody to do something with. So you can, when you open the app, you can go down the road of romance and you see a gallery of people nearby that would be potential dates, or you could go down the road of people who are nearby who would just be friends.
I saw that when I went into it because I
There
was
you
like,
go.
oh, hey.
Great.
Yeah, you can find a wing woman.
Yeah, you can
and
find-
then
somebody
you can go out
suggested saying that
together.
too. Yeah.
And so maybe the dating like somebody that you just see for the first time in an hour is scary, but you can meet a girl for in the first
also
hour.
safety in numbers. Like if you and I go on this together and we both want to go to this bar in the next hour, we can go together. I'm going for a different reason. You're going to meet a guy. I could be talking to girls. You could be talking to the guy.
Right.
If it doesn't work out, we
Now-
go.
right.
Done.
Now here's the thing that I don't know if you girls know, but this is where it also gets a little like, whoa, what are you doing here? So we set the location, the app that's near you, so you don't get to pick the location. We pick it, and there is no talking or texting.
Yeah, you just go.
just show up.
Yeah. So those things are like, what? So the women love to give you feedback, and what I've noticed is and that's what we're doing is moving forward, starting to do things that the women want. Like we're gonna always pick a location that's always closer to the woman.
I love that.
If it's two women,
I'll
it'll be
go.
the woman who initiated the invitation.
right.
All these things. We're also going to add a verification so that people can get their profiles verified because none of the apps are doing that. None of the, even on the league, nobody's actually taking
really?
the time to like, no, I mean, they're hooking it up to your LinkedIn or your Facebook. We do Facebook. But there's nobody that's like really going, here's your driver's license, here's you. And
Like
so
kind of like
we're adding that
Airbnb,
in.
how you verify
There you
there.
go.
Like I want
That
to know.
is
There you go.
such.
Yeah.
And you.
Always thinking. I'm always
so
thinking.
stranger danger is like my like saying.
Right.
I'm like very scared of people that I don't know through other people.
Right.
And so like even if you added like that layer of like a mutual friend, whatever it is.
Right.
That to
Toying
me-
with the idea
yeah.
of also maybe only guys can be on the app at some point if they've been invited through from another woman.
That's great too. Also,
These are really good
This
ideas.
is like my Barbie doll. This
And
is
also-
my Jones is like my Barbie doll.
It's so much fun.
These little like niche
Yeah.
specific ideas. I mean, there's a fucking app for someone who wants to eat bacon for Christ's
Yeah.
sake.
Right,
Like, so
right.
why would you not like be more specific? And we've said this too. We talk about a lot of apps. We've been on a lot of apps. Like we want more specificity,
Yes.
more
Right.
filters,
Right.
and less more safety.
Right.
Yes.
Which is
Thank you.
everything
Absolutely.
that you.
Poor
Yeah.
Max is like, hang on. We've got a
No.
long list. So here's
Yeah.
what I say to
Development
people.
wise.
Yes. I have a long list of wonderful ideas.
And you want them now, and he's like, "That's gonna take 6 months."
Yeah.
And you're like,
Something like that.
And a new team. Do
Yeah,
it now.
something like that.
Yeah.
So what I say to people and what I've learned is the pains of a new dating app or any social app depends on the amount of people on there.
Right.
But people, crap, they download the app or any. This is not just Jones, but they do it with. It's what I found out that they download it. They don't have the patience to hang with it. They'll delete the app.
Yeah.
And it's like then the cute guy that they would love to meet comes on the app. I've seen it happen on the back end.
Yeah.
Cute guy that girls would, and the girls aren't there to get the invitation
Yeah.
when they go. And so it's like, just stay with it.
Right.
Just hang with it. Just keep it on your phone and whatever.
We talk about that actually because we cover a different dating app every week. We're like, well, with this many dating apps out there, who's on the dating apps?
Right. And the girls say there's always the same guys on all the dating apps. And the guys say that about the girls, but I don't know what you can do that.
But
really
there's
do
no,
about
but
that.
also I think the more specific the app is, and specific for a good reason and not because we want to eat bacon, I think then you start to find a different pool. And so what? If you're running into the same people, like what happens when you go out to a bar? You see the same fucking
That's
people.
true. If you're in the same town, absolutely.
Very true. Especially
That's
in
very true.
LA.
Very
Like,
true.
if we go to the same several bars in the same area, you're
Right.
going to see the same. I know exactly what I'm going to see.
Don't expect this app to be like
Any
some
different.
magic alternative.
Right.
Especially if you're
layer
putting
of-
your radius like a certain mile
Right,
range.
correct. So the thing is, right now, it's only see people within a 5-mile radius of where you are, and if you move, like if you're in the west side, you'll see a different group of people.
Yeah.
And that's because you got to be able to meet in an hour.
Right. So you have to be able to
Too
get
far,
there.
you wouldn't
It's
be able to.
geolocation
Yes.
and all of that. And,
Yeah.
but that's
Yes.
also great, and we talk about this a lot too. Brian Howie talks about it. The Great Love Debate. Like
I'm going to the
Yes,
Great Love
so
Debate
are we.
tonight.
So are we.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Good. You'll see me probably wearing the same outfit.
which is great. But he says get your head out of your apps. Your apps.
Oh,
and
that's funny.
And it's
love it.
really that the point of
That's
your
funny.
app is to do that, and
Yeah.
that is what we constantly talk about. So I like it sounds like you're listening to, it's like necessity is the mother of invention.
Totally.
Like you're listening to, there's so many dating apps, like you're listening to why those other ones may not be that great,
Right.
or why people don't stay
I
on
have
them.
a thing that I actually would like in dating apps, and I've not seen it yet at all.
Okay.
Where people, like, if there was a filter that was like, let's just take Tinder, for instance. If they said, when you fill out your profile, like, okay, you're obviously picking men or women or whatever.
Right.
If you also could pick, I'm just here for fun, I'm here for a relationship, I'm here for sex, I'm bored, I'm here because I'm cheating on my girlfriend, like any assortment of things that qualify you. And I only want to see people that are interested in a relationship.
Right.
Because I don't want to go out on a date with a guy that doesn't want a relationship.
Right.
It's a big waste of time for me.
Right. See, here's the thing. You're relying on people to be honest about
Yeah,
their
Right.
exactly.
That's true too.
I
That's another
think
thing.
a better way to know is like perhaps what I'm going to be adding in, which is that verification where you
Yeah.
have to pay, like, whether it's $99 or whether it's $39. I would feel like, just based on what I know about the business, if you are willing to pay the money, if you're willing to do the FaceTime with me, which I think that's what's going to happen, and if you're jumping through those hoops,
Yeah.
you're not there to cheat on your girlfriend.
Totally.
You're not
It's
there
too
to,
many steps.
Too
Yeah.
many steps.
Yep.
Just like I say, I feel like my app keeps people safer because we know where you're going, who you're going with, and when you get there, you check in. Because when the plan's coordinated offline, ain't nobody keeping track of you.
Right.
Totally.
So if you're a weird guy and you're up to like just being weird or your intentions aren't honorable, you'd use any other app.
Of course,
Yeah.
because you know, your
Your actions won't be tracked.
Yes,
Yeah,
which I
it'd
love.
be easier anywhere else.
Now, do people flake?
yeah.
Like, do they just not show up?
We haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay.
Nobody's flaked yet because, quite frankly, the girls aren't quite saying yes yet.
Okay.
I need
But that's
to
gonna
get,
happen.
Oh, but this is the pains of a new app. I mean, here's the thing with even the League and Tinder and
Anybody
they're-
could flake.
but they're around for at least 2 years before you ever hear of them.
Totally.
You
Right.
see?
Totally.
And what we don't realize that. Like we
Yeah.
think we hear of them, they must have just started. No, they've been
You're
around.
just
they've
hearing.
been
Yeah.
2 years, and
Yeah.
so we're just like in the embryo stage here.
Do you
Totally.
think though that the women are like kind of thinking, well, if this guy wants to meet me in the next hour, he's either like a creep or maybe he's desperate?
I think the girls sometimes worry, maybe, although they haven't really said that too much, but maybe about themselves looking that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I would think that more than that. That
Right.
a girl,
Right.
because girls want to play the game so hard and they're being the bitch.
But you hear it. I don't know. You hear both sides of it. I mean, you
Yeah.
hear that some girls feel that. I mean, guys have said, "Do you think girls feel that way?" I haven't heard girls actually say that. Sometimes they say, "I'm not ready" when they ask, when the guys ask. But all of these problems can be solved when you have more people on the app. And
Yeah.
all of that takes time. That's why right now the app is only live for happy hour. During the week,
right. It said that
and
happy
brunch
hour
on the
or-
weekends.
Yeah, right.
Love brunch dates.
Thanks, because it makes it more of a fun. Now it makes it more of an event that happens.
Totally.
You
Right.
know, and I think
Something you're already going to maybe go out for
right
anyway.
and you don't feel like, oh, it's not going to look like I don't have plans. It's like
I was
you
doing
can
this.
still have
Totally.
plans
After or
happy
before.
hour.
Yeah,
Exactly.
totally.
Yeah, I love it. I
So
love
great.
it.
I mean, I'm going to definitely do this
Okay,
for
let's
sure.
check back and see how that all
We're
works
also
out.
going to start live. So if you want to live stream your date,
Oh my
maybe
God,
that's
she
something
might-
to think
that
about. I'm
might
trying
be
to recruit girls who want to live stream their Jones date.
Well, I would take a camera with me everywhere I go.
There you go.
Here's your
Okay,
little
good.
beta fish.
Yeah,
Good.
Here.
So I have 3 girls now that'll
Great.
do it. Awesome.
Totally will do it. Now, you had an event recently.
I did. I had an event.
So what happened there? That was for Jones, right?
It was for Jones. I need to start doing these more often. It's just time. Everything's so time consuming.
Yeah.
We're building like a Jones Girl Squad that we're doing right now. So I get more help. But that was good. It was just a mixer to celebrate the fact that I partnered with Greenleaf Restaurants.
Oh, okay.
And so what happens is Greenleaf's normal happy hour is 3 to 6, but just for Jones users. So when you match through the app and you go in and you show the app, they extend their happy hour for my Jones users from 6 to 9.
Nice.
That's
Which is awesome.
great.
So you go in and get the discount. So
Great.
you could even match up with your girlfriend and just show the app and go in. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
very great.
And
Well,
get the
let's do
deal
it.
on drinks and food. And so to sort of celebrate that partnership, I had an event at their Hollywood location. So
Nice.
that was that. And then but I've had a lot of parties at Wabi Sabi.
Yes,
okay.
In
in
Venice.
Venice.
And that my first party was like off the hook. I had like 75 women, and but this is funny. So I positioned it sort of as an all ladies party just to like network about the app and talk about the app. And so the women thought they were coming down there just to meet other women, but when the women got there, I had them all go onto the app. The idea was to pick a guy to invite down, which is kind of fun.
Fun.
Right? But the app crashed.
Oh, it's too
wait,
much.
is it too many
They
people?
weren't, because the app wasn't prepared to handle all the women going on. But that's good. These are things that need to happen
Right.
before there's like a major launch, and
But
you know what I
yeah,
mean.
I
So
love
now
that.
we've upped the server so it would handle it. But
Great.
but yeah, so it's just like I'm just trying to get out, and this is what you do when you have a new app. You go out, you tell people, you share
Yeah.
it, and yeah. So we're going to be having more and more events, happy hour
wow.
events, and
Okay, good.
Love
Well,
it.
we love that, and we love that you're, matchmaking in so many different ways, and we love
Yes.
that you're also kind of deemed like the celebrity matchmaker. So we're gonna play a quick little game with you because we just can't help ourselves.
Okay.
So like celebrity couples, they meet on like a movie set or like up in the club or like maybe they sang a duet together or something, and
Yeah.
like they think they've got it all under control, but
Or
like,
maybe they're Selena in The Weekend and someone just stole someone's boyfriend.
And listen, that's great, but like being that the like average Hollywood relationship lasts for like 4 months, like they don't think they need help. No, I think they need help. I think they need help from a
More than
matchmaker.
anyone else, probably.
More than anyone else. So we're gonna like
because
list.
it's complicated.
Always.
Very complicated. We're going to list some celebrity couples that are real couples, or maybe ones that we've matched together that we think
Okay.
might be an interesting match. And we want you to say if you would match, like, yes, you agree, or pass, like, no.
No.
Even
Okay.
if they're already existing or not. Like, we're
Okay.
going to throw some out and see if you
Okay.
like what we did or like them.
Sure.
Okay, ready? So, Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel.
Match.
Yeah, I
All
agree.
right.
I
For
agree.
sure.
Same. Taylor Lautner and Justin Bieber.
Maybe.
I think it's a match.
I think maybe. I mean, to be determined. There's
Yeah.
things that we don't know about
I think
people. You know.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, we've heard some things
You know,
too.
on the heels of the upcoming Super Bowl, let's do a Tom Brady and Giselle Bündchen. What do you think of them?
Match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Donald Trump and Melania.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah.
I think she's shackled to him
I
now.
think she's a prisoner.
Yeah.
A lot of
that's
people
funny.
do. Free Melania.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what do you think of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis?
Match. Mm-hmm. If they have a history together, and
Yeah.
I love that they were friends
I
first.
know.
yeah.
So cute.
Absolutely.
So
match.
cute.
Gives me-
Although I hear he's quite douchey, but
Yikes. Well, maybe
he's-
she's taming him. Who knows?
Maybe.
He's cute.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's been around the block.
Yeah.
J-Lo and Brad Pitt.
I mean,
he used to be my neighbor in the 90s.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
you.
I brought him a beer when he was mowing the lawn. He said, "You're an angel." Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, hey.
I would say pass.
yeah,
Yeah.
too much superstardom.
I just, even just from kind of, I mean, I honestly thought that was a mismatch with Angelina.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
just because even when he was my neighbor, and I believe this is who he is, he's just Mr. Beer drinking, hanging out, smoking pot, like go camping,
Yep.
fly fishing kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I think he got swept up in the whole Angelina,
Saving children and
stuff
globetrotting
just all
and-
of that.
He was like
you
a
know.
chameleon. He
Yeah.
took on her life instead of
right.
being
Remember
him.
when he dated
So-
Gwyneth Paltrow and then got the same haircut she had?
Yeah,
Weird.
so he's
No,
a
I don't remember that, but
And then he had the same color hair as Jennifer Aniston.
yeah,
Just
that
weird.
was weird. They were going to the same salon.
No, stop it.
I
Ken
can't.
Yeah.
Caves or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that
We
then
used to
I
have that
guess
same
we
age.
didn't do a good job matching them up.
Oh, you
No.
thought they would be a good match?
No, I just like threw them out there. We,
like superstars. Who's
superstars.
J-Lo's dating Drake or something?
I don't know.
Do you
Maybe.
think that's a good match? J-Lo and Drake?
Possibly.
Okay.
Okay.
Possibly.
What about if all of a sudden Tom Cruise decided he was going to imprison Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
Would that be a good match? They're both single.
I think Tom Cruise needs somebody who's less famous than he is. He's not gonna.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's not
He's-
gonna be with anybody more famous than him, or as famous. Or she's not more famous, but she's certainly household name-ish as much as he is.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
he's
So pass
never,
on
that's
that one.
never going to happen. I bet
Pass.
that'll never happen.
All right. Charlize Theron and Bradley Cooper.
That's interesting. I would say no, because I guarantee you he would think she's too old for him.
Interesting.
call.
Yeah.
Wait, is he single?
No, he's got that girl
not.
pregnant.
No,
They're
but I
having a
just think
baby.
that we're just making couples up here.
I know. I mean, I forget.
No, he's
when-
got that Irina Shayk girl.
Oh, she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
Damn.
well,
and she's
and
young.
how old is she?
Young,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't even can't.
On the younger side.
What about the real couple of Matt Damon and his wife Isabella? Do we like them as a couple? Yeah.
That's certainly great. I mean, it was a surprising, right? That-
Totally. He pulled
It's
her right out of a bar
strange. She was a bartender. She was a single mom.
in Miami. I'm like,
I mean,
hello, I could have been there.
Defies
I'm from there.
everything.
Dreams do
but-
come true,
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah.
So that was a Cinderella story.
For
if you ask
sure.
me.
For sure.
Okay, and the last one, Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx.
Interesting. I have known people she's dated, and I know his ex-baby mama. I would say possibly that could work. Possibly, but
And they're
I just-
rumored to actually
no, I know,
be dating.
a while. I mean, I think her problem is that, he won't come out with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably it would be nice to see her with somebody who's out of the limelight for
Yeah.
long-term happiness.
Sure.
I
Like,
think
maybe
it
like
could
a
work for
businessman?
while. I would love to see her with
Yeah.
a businessman.
Because
Yeah.
she's an intellectual.
Like her dad's a big, powerful attorney. Somebody probably like that. Yeah, her
Yeah.
dad's the one that helped broker that quick divorce. From
Oh,
Tom Cruise.
really?
God.
Yes.
Gotta love daddy.
Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
Well. Thank you for your,
Sure.
your
Yeah,
tips and our
sure.
and hey, maybe we've just predicted some celebrity couples. I don't
Maybe.
know.
You know what? Who I think the next celebrity couple should be?
Who?
Moi and someone that you set me up with.
Oh, hey.
Maybe.
Let's see how she did that.
We have to think who Brad Pitt would be good for.
Yeah.
Maybe Scarlett Johansson.
Okay, there we
Okay.
go. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that.
She would fit into his wheelhouse totally, I would think, and
Okay.
vice versa.
Yeah, and she's super private.
yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
even know what was even going on in her marriage, and now they're getting divorced.
She's been
Right.
getting divorced for a year or
and
whatever.
who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who the hell knew?
Well, that's
haven't
great.
even seen their kid.
No.
I wonder what
Private,
that looks like.
Privacy.
I feel like her kid actually looks like an Angelina Jolie kid.
Maybe.
Like that's the hair. No, the whatever their names are.
Do you think
Oh.
that Justin Theroux would ever jump ship for Angelina Jolie?
I don't know, but
I think he's dark and twisty, and
That's
she's dark and
totally,
twisty.
100%. I
Angelina
don't,
and Justin.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, if it happened, that would be the most
That would be the
outrageous
worst thing ever.
That would be like so unbelievably outrageous and horrible. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But honestly, I think he's more of a natural. I think Brad's more of a natural match for Jennifer Aniston, and I
Yeah.
think Justin Theroux's more of a natural match for Angelina. Those are really a good match.
But do you think that opposites attract, and maybe that's why this all got switched about?
I don't think opposites attract in the long term.
okay.
No, I think actually, in terms of opposites, like people take that too extreme.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
think, yeah.
if you have like different likes that you might want to like introduce somebody to, like maybe like in Lauren's case, she likes a certain kind of music and her boyfriend likes other music.
Right.
But they fundamentally
Yeah.
like enjoy the same thing.
Celebrate each other's differences,
Right.
but also fundamentally have the
Right.
same morals.
Like Brad might be like, a drinker, pot smoker, whatever, but he's not really edgy. He's
Yeah.
more like
No.
frat kind
He's a
of
good
He's not
Southern
gonna wear
frat boy,
somebody's
He's a
right?
little boy, yeah.
She's like edgy, hipster, kind of, dark, and
Yeah.
and Justin
Wear
Theroux is like
someone's
that as
blood.
well.
Yeah.
Right. I just want her to eat a sandwich.
I also think Justin Theroux is more attractive than Brad Pitt.
Really?
Yes.
think
I
it's a
don't
different
like
look.
that his hair looks so dyed.
Justin's? It's like black.
look very
Yeah.
dark.
I
Yeah.
almost feel like if he could, he would wear black eyeliner out.
Maybe he wears
Maybe.
guy liner. Give
Maybe.
him,
Guy
hey, listen.
liner.
Guy liner. Oh my God. Well,
It's fun.
tell
So much fun.
everyone.
Stay here all day.
Yeah. Tell with your Kahlua and coffee.
There you
Tell
go.
everyone
Give
where
some
they
more.
can find you and all of your things.
Sure. So for the app, you can search Jones Dating or Jones Social in the App Store or Google Play. Hang with the app. We're
Yep.
growing. And then my matchmaking is exclusive in inla.com. Women can fill out a free profile. Stop Being a Bitch and Get a Boyfriend is available in the Amazon store and digital download.
Love.
And then you can go to joinjones.com to get more info on the app.
And then you personally on social media, do you have handles that you?
What do I have? Let me think. I have exclusive introductions.
Okay.
Listen, I'm easy to find. So if
Yeah.
you type in Gina matchmaker, I
It's
think
there.
you'll find everything you need to know about
True
me.
story.
And
Perfect.
more.
Yes.
Well, and then men, don't forget to call her because you need her help.
Sure.
Yes.
So
we didn't even
hire
talk
her.
about models and mutts. The animal
Oh,
thing I
no,
do.
we did touch on it
in the
very
beginning,
quickly.
and
in the
also
beginning.
that I have a new rescue pup, and
Oh,
that
you
I should have
do?
brought her.
Oh, you
She
should
came
have.
from Korea, actually.
Oh, you
So
got one
we
of the
have a
Korean
model-
dogs. Wow.
a model and her mutt.
There
Oh,
you
well,
go.
Thank you
Perfect.
for calling me a model.
Well,
Perfect.
you
Boy,
know.
we're going to put you in rotation in a lot of slots.
It's so fun. Just use and abuse
Just
her.
available,
She
you know,
is
for
so
all
things.
Love it, love it.
She is available.
Okay.
I am.
And
Very good.
single also.
You have to be available in order to really find somebody.
Yes.
Totally. So that's what
I'm very available.
That is the
Perfect.
moral of the story today,
Perfect.
folks. And also, we're all going to be available to see each other again tonight because we're going to go to the Great Love Debate.
Yes,
so
that's
if you're in LA, find it, go, be part of the conversation. It's great. It's fun. We'll see you there. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming, and then
Thank
we'll see you
you.
later tonight. And speaking of Brian Howie, we have
Yes.
him next week on our show, so tune in for that. It's a little pre-Valentine's thing
Yeah.
with Brian Howie and his very specific opinions.
We can't wait to hear them again.
Yeah.
To tell us why we're doing everything wrong.
Oh, God.
But guys, we deliver this content to you for free every week, so we thank you for coming back to our show. We know you've like a myriad of podcasts and shows to watch and listen to, but you keep coming back to ours, and we couldn't be more grateful.
And we just want to say thanks, like Jen said, and also please tell a friend, subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Acast, and you can catch up on all the episodes, past, present, and future, and you can watch us on YouTube and here at AfterBuzz TV and all of the places. And Jen, where can they find you on all of the places?
At Jennifer Golden. That's Jennifer with one N, one F. Golden. That's
Kills
the
me.
thing. Yeah.
There's only ever one F.
You'd be surprised. People don't know.
And you can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and my website. And yeah.
R.I.P. Vine.
And RIP
No
Vine.
longer Vine.
No, I see how I took it out of there?
Yeah, I know. I love it.
All right, guys. All right, thank you again. Thank you, Gina. And we will see you guys next week.
Love you long time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.